From Pomona, California, this is my intro. Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema, a discussion of films featuring professional wrestlers. I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan, and I have the good fortune of sitting across from the muffler, Ryan Bruckner. Ryan, how are you doing today, buddy? I sure hope you're going to ask me that same question shortly.
Look at me.
Yeah?
Look me in the eye. Right now. Look me in the fucking eye.
I'm already
You're sitting across from me.
Why do you keep repeating? I'm looking you in the eye.
Look at me.
You can't just repeat, look at me in the eye when I'm looking you in the eye. Like, what do you want me to do?
Every time we record...
I've already pulled over. I can't pull over any further.
Every time you sit across from me at this table, when you go to sleep at night, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to know, and I want you to remember that I am the 18 in 18 to 8. I am the 18.
Oh, God.
In 18
No,
to 8.
wait a minute. Is this like, what, a Skid Row song? First of all, it was 18 to 9.
I'm going to call it 18 to 8. You don't deserve that ninth one.
It was 18 to 9.
Are you
for
sure
starter.
about that?
Absolutely.
It was 18
no,
to 8.
No. You did not beat me by 10. You beat me by 9.
Well, whatever. I eat, I sleep, I answer questions correctly, and I repeat. I eat, I sleep, I answer questions correctly, and I repeat. Trivia City, bitch.
Wow. Hey, at least, you know what? At least I'm not a coward. You know? You think I want to do you think I want to have engulf myself into a test of wits with you? Absolutely not. You have a thing with trivia. It's crazy, and God forbid if someone outsmarts, I was outwitted today. You know, your wife's like, why are you so glum? I was outwitted. At least I had the balls to accept your challenge, all right? That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I got hammered. Yeah, I listened back. Yeah, I was down for like 3 days. Literally down. I mean, it kind of comes through in the episode. I'm like, I don't know that I wanted to have WrestleMania here. I can't believe we actually finished the episode, and then I had the heart and the chutzpah, if you will, to continue and carry on a conversation about friggin' Vin Diesel movies. You
said that bullshit about Adam Goldberg.
I was desperate.
What were
I
you
was
on?
desperate. I was desperate then, and I wasn't thinking. I was still up in my head, and it was for two reasons. Number one, Booker T's finisher. That was one of the first couple questions, and I just shut down there. Okay? Number two, big time. That bothers me as well.
Big time.
I will never be able now, moving forward, tomorrow's the next day. Wait, tomorrow's the day after the next day of the rest of your life, or however the saying goes.
The first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah. I can now never listen to Peter Gabriel the same way because of this experience. You destroyed me.
Mike.
Yeah.
I like you.
Deep
down, a part of me, a lot of me hates you.
Yeah.
Resents you.
Absolutely, and that's deservedly so.
Is disgusted by you and
I
your
feel
presence
like
in my home.
I like to tell myself that there's a part of you that likes me.
But yes, one part of me.
Like an ember.
Like part of my appendix.
Okay.
Likes you.
And that has not been removed?
It has not been removed.
The appendix that remains, not the one that was removed.
My appendix bursts,
yeah?
You're dead to me.
Oh, gosh, darn it.
But for right now, you're in good shape.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm going to let you redeem yourself.
Okay, I would appreciate it, because I was so down, as I said.
Well, you're either going to get more down, or you're going to get on up. If I know anything about you, you, sir, are the Prince of Pisswater. You drink Macro Brew beer. You claim to know it. You've always asked me, Brian, can we please do a Pepsi challenge of the 3 big beers?
Yep. Oh, man.
Well,
I
I've
guess
set up for you. If
Yeah.
you notice these cups
No.
right in front of you.
Oh, my God. What the hell? Why are there 6 cups laying out and numbered?
I've set up for you a 2-round Macro Brew beer challenge.
Okay.
First round
Cool.
is light beers. And those are in the red cups marked 1, 2, and 3.
All right. So
your job is to take a drink from each cup.
Okay.
Then write down what you feel is in each cup.
Cool.
Coors Light, Miller Light, or Bud Light.
2 rounds. Okay, good. This is better. I was a little afraid. My heart rate's super up right now, and I was nervous because, yes, I do see the spread, and I see that there are 3 Dixie cups, and there are 3 Beatles pint glasses, which is really, really nice. Great presentation. And I was just like, what's he doing? Like, who was that magician that could like bend objects that was on Johnny Carson's show? And he just laid out a bunch of metal objects.
Kreskin?
Like, Kreskin. Well, why don't you bend these?
Was it Kreskin?
I don't know.
I just remember Kreskin. That was like an old
And he's like, magician. Oh God, I can't. And he's like still tried, He's like, this isn't going to work. I was afraid you're like, is this Heineken or Newcastle? Well, that would be pretty easy. But light beer especially, that is my wheelhouse. All right. And I feel like I can easily differentiate the flavors and the notes of light beer. So that's our first round. And then the next round is the same beers, but the regular
version.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. I feel
get to
confident that I'm going to do well here.
Get to it.
All right. So
when you're ready, reveal what each beer is.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go right to cup number 2, obviously.
Okay.
Cup number 1.
Cup number 1.
Here we go.
Talk us through your thought process here. He took a sip. He's running it back and forth in his mouth, swishing.
Piece of cake. What I'm sensing. Now, usually I drink this out of a can and crying profusely, but there's a very metallic aftertaste that is typical for your Coors Light. So there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Dixie Cup number 1. Now, I'm not confirming it yet, but I'm pretty confident. I'm going to have another swig. Oh, man. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay, now if I work... This is... Okay, wow. Yeah, pretty confident.
There's so many notes.
No, well, there's one note. The light beers have one aftertaste, pretty much. And I would say that the Coors Light brand has the most kind of metallic, sharp aftertaste, and that's what I'm tasting now. So I'm going to go Coors Light for Dixie Cup number 1. Do you have any sorbet? Okay. Dixie Cup number 2. God, the aromas are just so similar. There's nothing indistinct. Okay. No, this makes me more confident that number 1 was Coors Light.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, when you said it was a light beer challenge, the first thing that popped into my head was the difference between Bud Light and Miller Light, because they're very similar, but Bud Light has a bitter aftertaste. And I'm sensing it slightly. Maybe because, again, I haven't had these beers, how long have they been sitting?
In a few hours.
No, well, that's true. Absolutely. But in a cup. And I feel like they've aired out quite a bit. So the flavor has changed quite a bit. They haven't enhanced, I wouldn't say. I would say. Wow. Okay, I'm going to say 2 is Bud Light right now.
Okay.
Because I get a slight bitter aftertaste.
Let the record show Mike is locked.
No, there's no record. This is off the record. I haven't
off
confirmed.
The record?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, will he feel that number 3 is Miller Lite, or will that throw him for a loop?
Right. Dixie Cup number 3. Yeah. With Miller Lite, you're drinking beer, but it doesn't really taste like anything. It's no doubt it's the sharpest finish. I would say 0 aftertaste in Miller Lite. I'm because I'm overanalyzing this. I'm super up in my head, and maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. But I feel Like this flavor is conducive to Miller Lite. So I know for a fact number 1 is Coors Light. Yeah. Yeah, I know that flavor. Which happens to be my favorite of the 3. Number 3 is Miller Lite. The most harmless, I would say. I'm going to have a sip of 2 again, though. Yeah, super bitter. Okay, my final answer. Number 1, Coors Light. Number 2, Bud Light. Number 3, Miller Lite.
Mike, unfortunately, you are
right! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Did you hear it, Mom? I'm an alcoholic!
Well, you that was impressive.
I was a little nervous, but number 1, like Coors Light has the most flavor, I'd say.
I would agree with that.
There's a metallic, and I always used to attribute it with the look of the can because it's silver and it's like the silver bullet and branding, but there's something sharp about the aftertaste.
I always felt like Bud Light always tastes a little more maybe syrupy, a little more heavy of the 3. I always felt like Coors Light was the closest to water of the 3, and Miller always has more of a like a toasted barley.
That's fair. Now, what? Yeah, I would completely agree with you there. But which is your least favorite of the 3? I know you hate them all, but
probably Bud Light.
Me too, because you notice there is something very bitter about it. And I have a tall can of Budweiser during every podcast. That is strictly an homage to my dad. That was his beer. He was a Budweiser guy. Frankly, it is bitter. There's a very bitter aftertaste that is unsatisfying. It's not pleasant at all. Miller Lite literally tastes like beer, but it also tastes like nothing. There's absolutely no drop off in the after. There's no lingering aftertaste at all. So that's why I guess it's my favorite. But I kind of do like the aftertaste of Coors Light, and I also like that it's beer.
Yeah. Well, I stay away from all 3, but if I must, and I get a choice between the 3.
If you must,
I pick Coors Light usually.
Cool. But then again, I'm such a sucker for marketing. If I'm going in there, and that's what the game's all about. Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite. Bud Light changed their logo. They got Seth Rogen, doing the spots. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get Bud Light. When they, Miller goes with the vintage
Classic
cans,
can.
I'm like, oh, that's sharp. I'm going to buy that. It's all just marketing.
Coors is like, it's cold. We got these Blue Mountains.
But they recently changed their brand as well. I was like, ooh, that's a sharp looking can. When they have sports teams, like, oh my gosh, you got an aluminum bottle of Budweiser with the Angels logo on it? Are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to get that, Ryan.
They get you the same way they get little kids with sugar cereals.
Absolutely.
And cigarettes with Joe Camel.
Absolutely.
I
think I'm affected more than most adults. And, it might be similar to male pattern baldness because they say you get that from your mother's father. And my granddad, Grumpy Gramps, he was a sucker for that. So maybe I got that from him. I love new marketing and things that catch my eye, especially when all things are equal. And, we're nitpicking here. Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, it's all shite, But, hey, whatever. All right, let's go.
All right, regulars.
I'm glad I got, because if I don't perform well here, because I can't tell you the last time I've had. Also, okay, what is the Miller? Is it the original? I mean, you got MGD and High Life. High Life's not a light beer though. So what's the Budweiser equivalent?
I feel like
to
MGD is their
Budweiser?
flagship regular beer. High Life is like the fancy version.
MGD. Yeah. High Life's great, too. Okay. So, these are 3 Beatles edition pint glasses. I'm choosing John Lennon first. Okay?
John Lennon.
So, we'll go John.
Will it be?
I hope we
Coors?
pass the
Will it be
audition.
MGD,
Well,
Coors
you-
Banquet, MGD, or good old red and white Bud?
Okay.
No doubt in my mind, this is either Budweiser or MGD. Okay. I have to do this. I'm sipping and setting aside. If I'm allowed
smart
to
choice.
if I'm allowed to
Smart
have all
choice.
three, then I'm going to do that. I'm
Smart
sipping and
choice.
setting aside. I'm sitting. I'm sipping, and I'm setting aside.
Sipping and sitting.
Sitting aside.
He's picking up the yellow George glass.
You know what? I can change my answer. So I'm going to say John's Budweiser.
Okay.
Okay. George, number 2.
Can you do a John voice and say
Okay.
Budweiser?
I believe it's Bud.
Budweiser.
Okay. It's Bull. It's Bud.
And here's George.
If you can try it or not, just keep doing it.
That's Paul. I can't. I
Yeah,
don't have
you
a
didn't.
George, I guess.
George,
Whether you can try or not.
I have a better Ringo, and I
Paul.
cannot wait. Give me George. Come on, give me George.
I'm trying to give you George. It's more subdued. Is why do we have
It's
to
more
listen to
subdued.
you, Paul? He has the less.
Still
he's
my
got- he's-
guitar.
Gently
Still my.
leaves.
Still
I
my
look
guitar.
at you.
If you can try it or not. If you can say it or not, keep trying.
no, I'm trying. I'm
There's
doing
like
John.
there's a scene in Let It Be where like
Yeah.
John or Paul keeps like telling him like, no, you gotta play it like this. You gotta play it like this.
John,
And I always
you gotta
think of
play it
George
like
being
this,
like, I'll
George.
play it any way you want, Paul. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Wow, he's
Paul.
like what 19?
Whatever you're gonna tell me to do, I'll do
Whatever
it.
you're going to tell me to.
No, but I wish you would just play it like this.
Well, but you keep saying that, but you're not fucking listening.
Paul is the easiest one. This is Paul.
Yeah.
He's always. Well, why don't you just play it?
Ooh.
Maxwell's Silver
The
Hammer.
Beatles, they just have a good time and have a good knack.
All right, George.
You're gonna edit that out. I hope.
No, I'm keep. That's gold.
George. Gold, the color of piss, the color of beer that I prefer. Oh, boom. Not even. This is more difficult for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is more difficult for me.
The ones that actually have more flavor
Yes.
and body
Yeah.
are more difficult.
Yeah. Can I go back to John for one sip? Oh my God. Whew. Shit. Swear jar. Okay. Interesting. I might need to just go right to Ringo here. I'm going to go right to Ringo. Is that all right?
Go right to Ringo. Oh, that was awful. Go right to Ringo. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be there. Ringo's more like this. He's a little deeper. I'm happy to be
At least
here.
you're trying.
Oh.
I'd like to be under the sea
Yeah.
in an octopus's garden.
All you got to do is act naturally.
All you've got
You
to
just
do
gotta
is
act
act
naturally.
naturally. All you've got to do.
My mate.
He's definitely more deep. He's deep. He's
He's
the
the
deepest
kind-
of the three. They're
No,
gonna put me
Jordan.
in the movies.
They're gonna make a big star out of me.
I can't do a Ringo.
All they,
They call them. Yes, we do
all
have
I've got
chips.
to do is act naturally.
Yes, we do have French fries, Marge. We call them chips.
All right, Ringo.
All right. I know for a fact that Ringo is not Budweiser. God damn it. I know for a fact that George is not Budweiser. God damn it. I know for a fact that John may or may not be Budweiser. Yeah. No doubt. Okay. So this is going to go between George Gorge and Ringo. Budweiser is John. 100%. Get this goddamn souvenir pint glass out of my face. You bought this at Target, right? In 3-pack? Where the heck?
It's a 4-pack. I'm only giving you 3 beers.
What was it, Green Day?
They left Paul out.
It's not the promotional department's fault. There were
Well,
4
why
members
didn't you leave me in?
Okay. George is Coors. Either way, though, even if I get it right or wrong, like, it's not a slam dunk for me. Yeah. No, wait a minute. No. 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 Wait. Ringo is Coors. Original George. You, my friend, may you rest in peace, are MGD. John Lennon, Budweiser. George Harrison, MGD. Ringo Starr, Coors Barley.
Coors Banquet beer.
Sorry, there's barley in Coors, though, I think.
Are you ready?
Coors Banquet beer. Sorry.
We locked and loaded.
CBB. Yeah.
All right, Mike. Mike, congratulations. You got 1 round right and 1 wrong.
Dang it! I mixed up MGD and Coors.
You did.
Dang it!
You got John Budweiser. Yeah. So you can still pay tribute to your dad.
Cool. That makes me feel okay.
But you messed up George and Ringo. George was Coors.
Yeah.
And
look, that's what I had
Ringo
first.
was Miller.
I'm always second guessing myself.
You were right, and you second guess yourself.
I always second guess myself.
You were riding high on that light beer train.
Isn't that interesting?
And you continued to ride high when you said John was Budweiser, and you were reaching the highest of highs. And then you cut yourself down.
This is so typical of my psyche in general. I always second guess myself.
You choke at the last minute.
Yeah.
You're not confident in yourself.
This is why I never hit 4th in baseball or 3rd. Usually hit 7th or 8th because I was always up in my head.
Yeah. What position did you play in the field?
First base. Because I couldn't judge a high. I have 0 depth perception, so I couldn't gauge. Like, I was a liability in the outfield, so I couldn't gauge a fly ball.
So did you ever blow any easy outs on first base?
When it came to JV baseball in high school, and kids are becoming men, and the hot corner third base is just throwing this bullet at me and making an incredible play, I would witness an awesome stop, an amazing play. And then I was like, oh my God, don't blow it, Mike, because all you have to do is catch the ball. He's going to throw the ball to you, and he's probably going to do a good job throwing because he's very gifted. He already has a mustache. And I would drop the ball. A perfect throw, and I would just shake my head. Well, there was one time I made 3 errors in 1 inning. And I cried.
Did they just pull you out?
I think we mentioned this once. No.
I don't think we did.
Yeah,
I only know that Tyler hit a home run off.
No,
we
mentioned it because I'd mentioned my dad was just get a grip, Mike. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And then I instantly felt better. But I was crying. It was the 7th grade. I was playing against my peers, people I will see on Monday, and I made 3 errors, and I just was crying. And it's after that drive home, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares? Swear jar. But then, even then, after that, I would play softball and get up in my head.
Well, at least you know your light beer.
To answer your question,
I did this once a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I did not do well in the macro beer section, but in the premium foreign beer section, I aced it.
You are so full of crap.
It's true. Ask Chris.
Well, aren't you the intellect?
It was, I think we did Red Stripe.
Man, people that drink beer.
Stella.
People that pretend beer is wine. Just the worst people on the planet. God. And don't get me started with this, with these damn IPAs. What kind? Oh, Stella. So what were the varieties?
It was Stella, Red Stripe. Dos Equis. It was all lagers.
I could fare pretty well. Those are
and
pretty,
I forget what we did 4. I think we did
high.
4. I forget what the 4th one was, but
Yeah.
it was something like that. It was definitely before the craft beer craze. But
Circa win.
But fuck you. It's all I can drink are IPAs now.
Yeah.
I'm glad this has happened because now there's at least like flavor and nuance, whereas Mike gets like 24-ounce cans and just drinks them as fast as humanly possible.
Yep.
But at least you discovered the differences in taste and the subtleties of the light beer, so I applaud you.
Oh, thank you.
I consider this a half redemption. Well, congratulations, Mike. You're half the man you were before.
I
have the man.
Have the brain that you do.
Yeah. You have half the beer. You have half the beer that I do.
Thank you. No, that'll be my mantra for the night. I'm going to grab the mic for this. I'm half the man I used to be. Feel as I don't escape. Thank you.
Did you watch the Hall of Fame?
No. Let me say no. No. Let me say one word because I feel incredible right now, actually. I'm just going to say it, and then we can move on to the next segment. Sort of. Okay, no, I'm going to say the word. Vindication.
Vindication.
Not a funny joke. You can't step on vindication with me. That's all. Vindid Diesel? Yeah, nice. You know, you actually said that. You didn't just think it. Vindication. I haven't felt this good since we had our trivia contest.
Well, you felt pretty bad then, and probably all week after that, and then the week after that. So now you just are back to like baseline. If you call that vindication.
Absolutely. You have no idea when, like, baseline is the perfect word for it because that's all you want in life. I am comfortable with my baseline.
So you didn't watch the Hall of Fame?
No, I kind of did, but, like, I'm never like, oh, I can't wait to get home and watch the Hall of Fame speeches. Oh,
let me give you some highlights.
5.5 hours this year? Great.
Highlights.
I fell asleep to Hillbilly Jim.
Did you
and
see?
then I woke up the next morning to Hillbilly Jim.
Did you see that Shawn Michaels got a haircut?
Yes, I did.
What do you think about that?
Love it.
You love it?
He looks amazing. He looks 100 times better.
Like 20 years too late?
Absolutely. 20 years way too late. But, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm bald.
I better cut my hair now.
He probably just goes to his significant other like, I have a mole? Like, I have a bald spot. No, it's just the light in there, honey. He had the worst kind of skullet, like, because it was definitely hanging on to youth. And now he looks officially like an older gentleman. He's just lived a great life. He's not elderly yet, but Shawn Michaels is going to be the best person to have a conversation with in the next 20 years. He's on TMZ all the time, and he's just just giving his opinions about
I feel like I would hate having a conversation with Shawn Michaels.
It wouldn't be one-sided anymore. He's lived that life already.
Probably is going to talk to me about God or something.
It would be exactly the same as having a conversation with Jim Carrey now.
Fellowship. No way. I'd have a much better conversation with Jim Carrey than I would with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I know, because we could never say to Shawn Michaels, when I was a kid, you were my favorite. Because in the back of our head, we're like, we're Bret Hart guys.
I still hate you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, but man, do I respect you. But Jim Carrey was like, you were my favorite.
Part of me straight up hates you, but damn it, I respect you.
But God, that dichotomy of man. Yeah, right.
Another thing that I thought was kind of strange and awkward. So, Kurt Angle's ex-wife is Jeff Jarrett's wife.
Okay.
And I
knew that.
I think she left Kurt Angle because he was like a pill-addled mess for Jeff Jarrett while they were both in TNA.
Ooh.
And so now they're all just there. Like Kurt Angle sitting with his new wife. Jeff Jarrett's on stage thanking Kurt Angle's old wife.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Are there any awkward...
What an incestuous business this is.
Yeah. Like, Claire's going to be there. God, can you imagine that in your life if that scenario, just on a domestic level, happened to you? And you like have to go to this ballroom with that person? Like, what the? And you have to like shake his hand.
Yeah, you have to congratulate him for being in the Hall of Fame.
Like what if your neighbor that happened in your world here in Pomona?
You can't. Kurt Angle can't even turn his head to the right or left. He gave his entire body and soul to this business.
Yeah, and then this
and Jeff Jarrett gets in the Hall of Fame only 1 year after him.
1 year after.
And Jeff Jarrett. I mean, do you like Jeff Jarrett? I mean, he had like a few moments, I guess.
I never did, and it was something like I never did.
He
was honestly like I respect him.
The song,
he was
the song was
honky
nice.
Tonk man category with the guitar and everything. Maybe it was the gimmick that was his the liability, in my opinion. Never liked him. I haven't liked any real incarnation of him. But after, check it out in the archives, after Spring Breakers, and this is a platform where he's not wrestling, I'm like, anyone who could like portray that character, like if that was his wrestling persona, man, now that would have been a gimmick. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. The cool, Christian older guy.
So Shawn Michaels.
Bedazzled. Kind of like Shawn Michaels, circa 2007.
I do like Jeff Jarrett when he was doing his "Don't Piss Me Off" gimmick.
Didn't like that either.
It
was aggressive and it was different. But if I had to pick an incarnation, it would be JEFF, JARRET with the flashing J's, because that was the best presentation. Like there was an entrance there. The angle with Road Dogg was the best thing in his career.
That was his best angle.
Incredible storyline.
Yeah.
But still, I was always just like, I guess I never liked him.
Damn it, I respect him.
But yeah, well, I don't know. It's kind of in the middle, because I also never hated him. He was always kind of just there, I guess. The same way I feel about Edge, I'd say. Like, because if you hate a wrestler, I never hated about Edge. Paul Heyman, and I've told you, like, it bothers me. It's like, God, this guy's and you told me, like, you're a mark. He's a bad guy. He's supposed to make you react like this. And I'm like, oh, God. And now I admire him to the point where I love hating him. And with Jeff Jarrett, I just kind of didn't really give him much attention.
He never got any, like, successful heat from the crowd. Like, nobody
never did.
Really
and
hated
it's not like
him.
He didn't have the opportunity, because he was on that mid-card level at the top.
And
I prefer to intercontinental matches then.
He was never a good babyface, ever.
No. So he should have been like always a heel. Maybe he'll have like a Bob Backlund and come back and just like he'll finally develop that true heel persona. Because that's what Bob Backlund's heel persona.
I hope he doesn't come back. Jeff Jarrett coming back.
He's going to be in the Women's Battle Royal.
Oh, that's a great idea.
They bring back legends for the Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah.
It would be funny.
That
would be
great.
Go crazy. Like the Bushwhackers come out.
I mean, he had the match with Chyna, remember?
Yeah.
When she won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
The good housekeeping match.
It was an incredible match, too.
Yeah. So he could be in the women's
awesome.
division. That's a good idea.
Oh, thanks.
Good job. Okay. Vindicated.
Halfway?
Yeah.
3/4.
Yeah. Vindication.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Vindication vacation.
Vin Diesel vacation.
Yeah. So you did it. You said the Vin Diesel vacation. You kept it
no,
alive.
I didn't.
You kept it alive.
No, I stuttered.
I was interacting with a lot of people.
See, I knew it was a good joke.
It wasn't, but you held on to it.
I did.
I was interacting with people all throughout the Hall of Fame. I actually watched it from beginning to end.
Crazy.
Don't know why I did it. I was working at home yesterday, so I was like working, tweeting, and watching this bullshit all at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. But I did have a few funny
an excuse.
interactions.
So you had. Why do you have to feel guilty about watching it? It's fine. You don't have to.
But it's like
cram your day with 6 things I was also doing.
It's like 5 hours of bullshit, just utter bullshit.
Yeah.
The Ivory's speech Oh my
God! I don't want any parts of that. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! I wanted to kill myself. Even Molly Holly.
Ivory was so one-dimensional.
Molly
I'm
Holly's
sorry,
induction speech to her, she was basically like, she was really nice. And I remember one time after 9/11 happened, me, Ivory, and Lillian Garcia, we couldn't get on any planes, so we decided to have the most epic road trip ever. And then Ivory, when we got to the hotel room, she started jumping from one bed to the other bed, she totally took our minds off of 9/11.
Oh, for that brief
And that's
moment.
why she's in the
an
Hall of
American
Fame.
hero.
Yeah, she's
for
a
that
hero.
brief moment.
She jumped from one bed
As
to
Nicole
the
Bass
other.
is jumping from bed to bed.
But at one point, Jimmy Hart.
What if that was the plot of Thelma and Louise, though?
After that could be the reboot.
That would be a great
Thelma's
movie.
trying
You're
to get
telling me-
Louise's mind off of 9/11.
Yeah, but it's in the world of wrestling. You're telling me you wouldn't watch that movie? That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah, I'd watch it.
I love road trips.
At one point, Jimmy
To watch
Hart.
on a movie. I don't like them. Like, I don't want that out of context. I hate road trips. I like watching them on TV, like that. Okay.
Do you like the movie Road Trip starring Tom Green?
Absolutely. We're just trying to feed the
That
spider.
snake.
It was a snake. Shit. The snake, the mouse. Like, can we feed it yet? Is it feeding time? He got a lot of play in that college.
Yeah.
To Tom Green.
Jimmy Hart came out to induct Hillbilly Jim, and so I was like,
What was he wearing?
like sunglasses, a blazer.
He's going to look like black and red these days, right? Just straight black and red.
Yeah, I can't even remember, but I tweeted, I was like, Jimmy Hart doesn't age, and then this guy right on the tees was like, doesn't age, he looks fucked. And then I was like, well, he's looked the same amount of fucked for like the last 20 years.
I would agree.
Which
with
he
you.
has.
I would agree with you.
I mean, he's an older man.
Absolutely.
But he looks
he makes
the
appearances
same.
like at his age. Like, he's doing a great job. He's making all those dates. He's making all the dates.
Yeah. And then Hillbilly Jim shouts out Bruce the Deuce, the king of sharts, Bruce Hart, in his speech. And so I was like, wow, can you believe it? He shouted out the king of sharts. And then some Bruce Hart parody account is like, don't hate on the greatest.
Wow.
And then I was like,
how do you know it's a parody account?
it says lapsed Bruce Hart. So I listen to Lapsed Fan.
Oh, so it's, okay. So it's in the umbrella of Lapsed
Yeah.
Fan.
And then I was like, I would never do anything to offend a man of your size, sir. And then he was like, want to buy my autographed 8x10, only $29.99. And then I was like, I'm still waiting on Keith Hart's 8x10.
Oh, man.
And then this guy's like, that jabroni only has a 4x6.
That's funny.
That was a great interaction.
That's great, man.
You bet your ass I followed
Heck
lapsed
yeah.
Bruce Hart.
Wow.
But yeah, that was
That's
a fun time
hysterical.
for me.
Because like that, like you probably didn't expect that. Like the 4x6, like that's a good joke.
Yeah.
Like he thought about,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
we had a good
That
interaction.
was great. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Touche.
Yeah, because I actually had to
Or not touche.
I had
but-
to Wikipedia all the Hart brothers to see who's alive and who's dead. Because
Yeah.
I was going to be like Smith Hart, but then I was like, wait,
Yeah,
Is
you're
Smith-
doing your work too. You're
is
like
Smith
okay,
Hart
wait a minute.
alive?
This guy's willing to
who's
play.
alive? Keith, he's alive.
Perfect. Yeah, you did your research. Like, okay, if I'm gonna, you're like typing it
Yeah.
out. You're like, nah, delete. Oh man, I hope. I really hope this fake Bruce Hart account
Well,
is gonna like my joke.
Tiny Lister.
I can't tell you the last time I said a joke and someone was like, God, that's really funny.
I tell you you're funny sometimes when you're funny.
Oh, thanks. Oh, well, that brings us to film number 40. Wait, what?
Hold me closer, Tiny Lister.
Film number 44 of 5,722, The Fifth Element, our first ever selection from Ryan's urn. Not his, like he bought it, it's not his urn, because your urn is,
Yeah.
you can't mention it.
It really
When it's-
belongs to my Undertaker.
That's okay. Okay, there we go. Vindication's the word of the day. If your impressions, Paul Bearer, pretty good. That might be your best work, actually, if I'm being honest.
I didn't even try to do a Paul Bearer. You're just, in comparison to my Ringo, you're just.
How long did it take you to cut out all 5,722 movies on a piece of paper, and
It
then
took a long time.
eliminating the ones we've already seen? You know,
It-
oh, Santa with muscles. Nope. You go this
It
way.
took me as long as The Last Witch Hunter, because I was doing it while I was
it on a
watching
Word?
The Last
Was it
Witch
on
Hunter.
Excel?
It was on a Word document.
Yeah, and you just typed it all.
Yeah,
And then
cut it
cut it
all
out.
out. And then I said a dark prayer over it.
Right.
And the spirits of the movies went into my urn.
Okay. Look, peek behind the curtain. It's not really 5,700. How many? I'm like, how many?
I don't know. I didn't count them.
Wow.
It's 5,000.
It's like in that.
I'm always living the kayfabe life.
Wow.
It's gonna be 6,000 soon. I'm still cutting right now.
What happened?
You see me right now? I'm fucking cutting.
You're cutting.
I'm cutting.
You look great. You got a bald head now.
I'm cutting
You're
and
growing your
strutting.
beard out. You're trying to do this intimidation thing. I don't know what you're compartmentalizing here. I don't know who you're projecting on.
You should put a
But you
coin in there for
completely
every
changed
time you
your
say
look.
compartmentalized.
I use that word perfect opportunity at every time. All right? If you want me to say compartmentalize, stop bringing up the opportunity for me to say it.
life. Every day. Yeah, I made you do it. I made you do
You're
it.
right, because I think I thought that when I said compartmentalize, I was like, you say that word too much.
You got to change your look up. You got to
Okay, how come after I
change
do,
your
like,
gimmick?
the intro for our last episode, I'm just complimenting the waves of your hair and the smells. You got this fall pomade or whatever. And I was driving here like, I wonder if he let his hair grow a little bit. You know, get that.
I told
dip
you if you listened
that you wanted to cut your hair because you. Right.
I already had an appointment to cut it that Monday.
I know you did. I thought you were going to change your mind by the way I was complimenting you.
No, but I have to make an appointment to see my hair guy.
I don't think your hair's ever been this short, though.
It has.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the past.
Yeah. It's a good
Maybe
look
not
for you.
since I was in high school.
Speaking of high school, this film came out in 1997, which puts us
I was in 8th grade.
8th grade. So when it came
I
out,
just remember because we were the class
when
of
it
97.
came out on VHS at Suncoast, the Main Place Mall, where they filmed the opening scene to Kindergarten Cop, that puts us in high school. Freshman year, I would say.
I have fond memories of this movie.
Me
I
friggin'
remember this movie is so innovative. It's
I-
funny. It's like different.
I adored this
Got
movie.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
oh
got
man, Chris Tucker's got so
amazing
much
visuals.
range.
Yeah.
The visuals are incredible. It's like it's a comedy and it's making fun of itself, but look at the graphics. It's like,
Yeah.
and that charm is still present in this movie. I just loved this movie so much as
Yeah.
I bought it. You know, I don't buy all the movies I see. You know, I like to pick okay, this is a movie I want to just like wake up and watch whenever
Yeah.
I want. And I saw it in the theaters, and I would if asked, if pressed, I'd be like, yeah, this is better than Die Hard.
What?
Yeah, at that time.
Oh,
now that I watch it again, okay, obviously Die Hard's better. Die Hard with a Vengeance is better.
Yeah, I actually watched this. I
This
liked it
does
a little
not
bit less.
Hold up for me. Which
It's still-
really was devastating.
It's
for me.
still got its moments for
absolutely
sure that are really cool.
I was in a dark place, aforementioned.
Mila Jovovich, she's great. Like
See,
I
that's
really
what-
love when she's like multipass chicken when she puts the thing in the little chicken maker. She like
Yeah,
puts like
that
those
was
little
cool.
drops and puts it in that rehydrator thing, and she's got a full chicken.
But that's
chicken.
I think it was absolutely. It was. I loved the multi-pass part.
Multi-pass.
To the point where it's been a decade since I've seen it or more, and that like popped up in my the multi-pass part, and it was like, God, cheesy AF. Multi-pass.
No way, it's cool.
It must have been my mood, I guess.
It's totally that like frenetic 90s like
Absolutely.
quick cut stuff. Like do you like that movie Go? Have you ever seen that movie Go?
Absolutely.
It's like that same style.
Or
It's like,
Run Lola Run. Run Lola Run. Kind of like that too.
Multi-pass. Or
I don't
when
know
they're
why
just like walking through and Chris Tucker's interviewing Bruce Willis, he's like, all night long. And then I'll just ask him a random question, and Bruce Willis will be like, sure.
Yeah. No, every scene with Chris Tucker held up. Resonated with me the same way it did then. Because I remember as a kid, like, it's a radio show. Interesting. Because, you expect all this glamour. There's going to be cameras. But this is 200 years in the future, so we don't record that way anymore. So he has this weird scientific space terrestrial radio kind of network that just filters out to different planets and stuff like that, which is pretty clever.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we are now, actually.
And he goes down on stewardesses.
Oh, man.
He's like a true feminist. This is like a feminist movie. First of all, everybody thinks the Fifth Element is a man, but it's a woman.
It's a
woman that's the savior of mankind. And then Chris Tucker is just going down on this chick and doesn't require any service in return.
Yep. Absolutely. I don't know why I said that about Mia Jovovich, because I mean, I was just head over heel. Like, I fell in love with her after this movie. It was my introduction to her, and I was just like, what the heck? Oh, my gosh. And it's PG-13. I saw it in the
she's
theaters.
Naked.
She gets naked twice, or 3 times. And I actually remember going home, and I was like, we just got away with something. And I like went on Prodigy or whatever, the internet, AOL.com. Is it legal to show boobs in a PG-13 movie?
I don't know why they let it pass like Titanic.
It was artistic and it was quick.
I think it's because she has really small boobs. If she was like jiggling, if she had like big ass titties and they were just like, that would be rated
that's
R.
That's the film I want to see.
Yeah, if it was like Rosario Dawson was the Fifth Element, it would be rated R. But it's Mila Jovovich, so
man. That would have been such a... If she was voluptuous, man.
Yeah.
That's the movie. Ooh.
Should remake
like Nia
it.
Jax. They should remake it with Nia
Jax. Yeah. Oh my I even made a note of that. I was like, it was her small boobs. That's why it's PG-13.
But there was like a whole committee analyzing this. Like, were her nipples erect?
Corbin Dallas is totally a WWE name. Like, I'm surprised there hasn't been a wrestler named Corbin Dallas.
Okay,
there's Baron Corbin.
What about Corbin Burnson? Do you think is that old guy name or
that's an old guy name?
Okay,
it's got to be Corbin Dallas.
How about Ken Burnson?
Burnson? No,
Ken's not a wrestling name at all.
There was Mr. Kennedy, Ken Kennedy.
Patera. Change your name.
Ken Patera.
But he didn't go by Ken.
Nowadays, they would just call him Patera.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they just
gotta drop the
like
Ken.
Everybody's got to lose their 2 names and just have one. Antonio Cesaro, you're just Cesaro. Adrian Neville, now you're just Neville. You got Rusev. Everybody's just one
I'd like
name
seeing
now.
almost to drop something, because I'm just like, God, I got to learn this guy's name.
Yeah, he should just be Andrade Almas.
Andrade.
Why do they have to put the
Or
Cien?
Andrade has a good, like, Sting or Prince kind of ring. Andrade.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Cien almost has it rings off the tongue.
Well, Andrade
rolls off the tongue.
Cien Almas means 100 souls.
Right. So what's Andrade?
That's just his name. I'm the Andrade of the 100
souls. So if Andrade
souls.
Cien Almas is 100 souls, Andrade is
What did you think of Tiny
name's
Lister? This is like maybe one of his more prominent roles besides Debo in Friday.
It was great. It was... He was a likable president. He didn't have any opportunity to express his range or showcase anything because he's limited to sitting down on a chair the entire time.
It's like
yet there was something about him where like, oh, our president's a good guy.
You elected this big galoot to be your president? What is this, idiocracy?
I wrote hey, man, simpatico. And that's what I loved about the movie now as an adult, I guess. I didn't really pick up on this, but like everyone's a lot dumber. And they made that evidently clear. Like top military people are like, wait, I have to hide in this fridge? Okay. Yeah. And then they actually freeze. I was like laughing out loud.
And the monster guy that puts on the human disguise and he's like, I'm Corbin, Dallas.
Yeah.
He's all fucked up. That kind of reminded me of Men in Black.
Men in Black.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's good moments. I don't love it as much as I did then, but it's mainly just because a lot of it looks dated. Like a lot of the creatures and stuff.
That never bothers me. Like, because at least it was very limited on the CGI. The prosthetics and everything was actually man-made. So I even like it when it kind of stands out because it puts me in a time and place.
Yeah.
So that didn't bother me at all. There was something cheesy that I can't articulate. Okay. And I wish I could.
I mean, I really liked the idea of a space vacation. Like a space cruise.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe the age gap between Mia Jovovich and Bruce Willis.
But Bruce Willis had the blonde hair, so it made him like a little more
just
youthful.
Changed it. Yeah, exactly. And we'd never seen him like that before, maybe in Hudson Hawk. Yeah. But like he made a drastic change.
Yeah, I felt like he looked young enough. I bought their relationship for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, this is 90s Bruce. He's not what he is now.
Yeah, he looked good. He wakes up in every scene in that time hungover. Like the first time we witnessed him, he's like, oh God.
He's got those reverse filtered cigarettes.
Smoking tomorrow. They all do. Yeah, that was cool as well. I noticed that they just simply reverse. But apparently, fast food's exactly the same.
Yeah,
fast food cups and straws haven't evolved.
I think I kind of forgot this part, but I think it might be my favorite part is when he's having the shootout. And he's asking like that deaf guy to give him the gun.
Yeah.
And the guy's like confused. And then he like rolls over 2 pool balls.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, thanks. Great.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Because it was like a long extended gag. It wasn't just like a quick, like they gave that guy who was like an internet sensation or something like that. He was like an exclusive invitee to this operatic, amazing performance on this planet that only the elite and Bruce Willis, because he won a prize that was doctored by the U.S. military, is invited to.
Okay, here's a question. You know how the Stones were inside the opera singer?
Yeah.
Like, were they going to have to kill her no matter what?
Yeah.
So it was like fortunate that she got shot?
I didn't even remember that. And I watching that scene, I was like, this is as impactful as it was as a kid because this song is beautiful. Yeah. And like they chose an interesting voice, like an incredible, like we're just going to go all on board with the opera and like, and then we're going to get kind of techno with it, but it's still going to be this soprano singing. So the voice was incredible. And I was as stunned now as I was then. Totally forgot that all those giant 4 stones are in her body.
Maybe she could have passed the stones.
That's what, I mean, what was that movie where the girl's pounding heroin going across the border?
Maria Full of Grace?
Yeah, Maria Full of Grace. It's kind of like that scenario.
She just has to take some laxatives.
They should have been like wrapped in condoms. Bruce Willis is like tearing them apart. Yeah, he should have at least said like, well, this makes it easier for me then, and you.
So I was looking into Zeus Tiny Lister, and something I never knew is that he made an appearance in WCW. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. I remember him walking down the ring and he's flexing his
titties.
His titties the whole way.
Do you know what his name was in WCW?
I don't remember.
Z-Gangsta.
Wow, that's what it was?
Yeah, and it was like
a Z-Gangster.
It was basically the last days of Hulkamania before he turned heel. They had like a multi-tiered cage match where like all of the heels, the Dungeon of Doom, the Horsemen,
early 94, late 93.
No, this was 96. This is the same year.
I'm sorry.
As Bash at the Beach.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So we're really close to his heel turn.
Yeah, and so this, like, he went away after this and then came back and was a heel.
Yeah.
But that they just were like, we'll have him beat every single heel we've got from his past and present, and this will be the ultimate.
So it was a
Hulkamania
one-off
thing. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
I didn't even realize that.
I was thinking, since Zeus probably has like the most respectable body of work besides The Rock or Jesse Ventura, we're gonna be watching some Zeus movies as we pick through the urn. Next time we pick a Zeus movie, we should watch that match, the Z-Gangsta multi-tiered cage match.
So you put a lot. Yeah, I mean, he had to this day is this incredible career. He is what you would call a working actor.
Yeah. If I had his career, I'd be happy. I bet he has a really nice house.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's been working consistently for 30 years.
What an amazing opportunity for that man to trick kids, not trick, but that's what wrestling is, into thinking you're a professional wrestler. Yeah. SummerSlam 88, man. I was like, oh, yeah, this guy Zeus is on the roster, no doubt. He was an actor.
He's incredible.
Like, amazing promoting. Like, he's an incredible promoter, I guess, to be able, or he had, like, good representation. But we'll never see that again. We tried to, like, there's a guy in Arrow that was in, like, a SummerSlam or something like that, but that's not going to resonate. Who's that guy?
The guy that is Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow.
Stephen Amell.
Okay.
Yeah, but he actually did. He wrestled a match.
Yeah, he did. I think it was a SummerSlam too.
I don't think I even included him. Maybe I should.
You should. No, he is definitely a wrestler.
Cody, the Bullet Club, they're trying to promote like a 10,000 seat arena show called All In, and he's supposed to participate. Oh. So he's gonna have another match.
Cool.
Well, okay. Fun facts. Luc Besson wrote the original screenplay when he was in high school. He conceived the story of the film and invented the world of the film as a child so he could escape his lonely childhood. He began writing the script at 16, and it was released in theaters when he was 38.
Wow.
It's pretty interesting.
Is that the first thing he'd ever written? Oh, so is that, but had he already established his career as a writer, I wonder?
Yeah, he was putting stuff out before this.
Yeah.
At the time, it was the most expensive film ever produced outside of Hollywood. Most expensive production in Gaumont's history, and at $80 million US, the visual effects budget of the film was the highest of its time. When they had the big explosion in like the ballroom, that was like supposed to be one of the most like the biggest like indoor explosions ever in a film, and the fire like almost got out of control after.
Really?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they didn't capture everything that they anticipated, because it's not that impressive.
Yeah, maybe it was back in the day.
Yeah, you're right. We're just jaded.
Yeah. The movie was supposed to be a trilogy.
I'm not impressed by your indoor fireworks explosions.
Luc Besson had 3 scripts, but he condensed it into one. And then finally, Elizabeth Berkley auditioned for the role of Lilu, but after the failure of Showgirls, studios were reluctant to hire her. God, I wish there was a wrestler in Showgirls. I wish we could talk about Showgirls. Are you sure?
Let's look again.
I hope there is.
When like when you lose your wallet and you're like, I already checked the couch, but I'm gonna check the couch again. Let's check the couch again. There's gotta be. Or like we could. All right, so like is any ties to Pamela Anderson or something like that? Because Pamela Anderson would count. Jenny McCarthy would count.
Was there a wrestler on Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, no. Friggin' 49er. Damn. Football player.
Oh, yeah, Mike
I can't remember his
Golick, I think.
No, it wasn't Mike Golick.
Mike something. I'd give this... Okay, 14-year-old me would give this a 9. 34-year-old me gives this a 7.9.
Wow, okay. Do you feel like we're on the same page? I gave it, like, verbally, I gave it a lot more crap than I wish I would have, because this movie, I will always look back fondly.
It's a 90s movie, and a lot of movies in the 90s were like this, and sometimes it could come off cheesy, but I feel like it's the charm of the film, so I don't hold it against it too much.
I don't either, and it, even at the time, was making fun of itself still.
Yeah.
So anything cheesy they could get away with, you know, hey, they laughed at themselves as well. Not that great of a story, as far as like beginning,
a little
middle,
convoluted,
and end.
A little convoluted. Yeah.
Great characters. So the strength is in the characters.
Yeah.
Amazing idea of cloning a woman out of one little piece of this amazing alien witchcraft alien community that'll save human existence every 4,000 years or 2,000, however many. And these are things I didn't pick up then as a child. So 14-year-old me, 10. 27-year-old me now. Okay, no. 27-year-old me, 10. 35-year-old me, 10.
What?
This movie brought us together.
10?
No. 7-6. No. 7-4. You said 7-5,
You're always
right?
second guessing
I know.
yourself,
Shut
even
up.
with your
Was
rating.
it course? No, it's MGD. All right. You gave it a 7.5, and you talked. I
said 7.9.
You said 7.9. Okay, good. I spoke more ill towards this movie, so I'm going to say 7.8.
Okay. All the way up from 7.4 that you said a little while ago, but fine.
Sometimes, like, I wish you wouldn't, like, ever talk. You know, like, sometimes I just hear your voice, and, I wish that God has removed the ability for you. I'm cursing you right now. Like that Thinner movie. Dude, I'll get gypsy on your ass.
Well, you've already cursed yourself at second guessing yourself in everything you do. And that's why I win.
Defensive. Now I'm just being defensive.
And I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, if you want to be fair to Flair, you got to be fair and say, that's a heck of a robe. For only a man as fair as Flair can. Will you stop?
Will you? Obviously I'm still angry about this whole thing because that is not a way to process your anger. I just attacked you. I'm sorry. This is not my outro. So I just want to get one more apology in before I deliver. Talk about a club sandwich.